How to eat healthy on the go. This is Bo from Bo to Fitness, and today we're looking at task 18 on our meal plan challenge checklist. And we're really just kind of looking at how to set up our day-to-day eating habits so that we're able to eat on the run, that convenience element, so that we don't ever have that excuse of, well, I couldn't eat healthy today because I was too busy. Right. So if we're taking some time or preparing and have a little forethought, we can set up a whole bunch of really healthy meals that are super easy to prepare, quick to grab, and some of them don't take any preparation at all. We can even begin to look at like fast food meals, things that we can eat when we're out and about, that we can pick up at various restaurants and things, so that we always have something that we can grab on the go. So I'm going to go through some of my top tips and just kind of rattle them off popcorn style, just so I don't lose track. I'm going to use my little blue marker here and kind of check them off as I go. So first and foremost, probably the most important is have a plan. Remember that a big part of this whole process is becoming more of what we call a proactive eater rather than a reactive eater. A reactive eater is just someone who's going through their day and they just react. So, oh, I feel like this, and oh, that smells good, and oh, hey, you want to have a little bite of this? Oh, sure. Hey, you want to? And you go all day long and you just react, and you get yourself into trouble, because when you're just being a reactive eater, you tend to grab the things that are going to derail your diet rather than the person who proactively has set up a plan. So when someone offers them something to eat at a party or a picnic or whatever it is, they say, oh, no, thank you. I've already eaten, or I already have a meal with me, or I'm on a plan. And that gives them, that structure so that they can stay on track with their goals. Remember, if you have extra weight, it happened for a reason, right? It happened because you're doing whatever you're doing right now. So if you keep doing the same thing you've always done and expecting a different result, they say that's kind of like the definition of insanity, right? So you got to change and stop being a reactive eater and start learning how to be a proactive eater and have a plan. So we talk a lot about this whole challenge checklist is helping you to develop a plan so that you have that ability to go through your day and eat yummy, satisfying, affordable meals so that you can stay on track. So once you have a plan, another little top tip I want to really cover, because this one works really has always been very helpful for me, and I've done this for years and years. Anybody who knows me or sees me come into the gym each day knows that I do this every day. So I come walking in, and no joke, I have a food bag that I bring with me everywhere I go. So I'm just going to show you one here. So this is my current food bag. So I come walking in, I got my food bag. Your food bag doesn't necessarily need to look like mine. You might have a little chest or a locker or cabinet or something wherever you're going, where you have like this little stockpile of goodies. Maybe it's just your fridge at work or your fridge at home, but you want to have, I want to have things that are with me on the go, because I find myself at times where I'm out and about and I just don't have time to stop and or maybe I'm just tempted to stop and grab something that I shouldn't. And if I have something in my food bag that I can grab real quick to satisfy my hunger, that's not going to derail my diet, it helps me to stick to my diet and stay in control. So a lot of times when I bring my food bag in, I will bring some refrigerated items with me that I can throw in the fridge when I get to work or at home. So some of the items in here I won't carry around with me all day. It all depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing. But I want to go through a little bit of some of the elements that are in my food bag on a regular basis, and it changes a little bit seasonally depending on what I'm in the mood for. But I want to talk about some of my top food bag items, so that you want to keep these things stockpiled so that you can always be ready to have a healthy treat on the go. So let's just look at my food bag here, and I'll give you some practical examples here. So let me see what I got here. So one of the items that's really good are prepackaged foods. Prepackaged foods are especially healthy veggies and things like that. So I've been really getting into these these prepared salads that are already all chopped. They already all calorie portioned. So it's easy for me to look on the back and I can see that I could, in this case, eat this entire bag. And I oftentimes even am able to reduce the calories a little bit, because I'll take out some of the little, sometimes they'll have like some, meat things in there, or seasonings or things, or even some of the nuts and seeds or chips that I can reduce a bit or eliminate, that will knock the calories down a bit. All depends on what's in the bag. But I love these things. I throw a bunch of these in the fridge so that I always have these prepared salads. And it's just, again, it's a convenience factor for me. I like that they're already all prepared and chopped up, and I can just throw it in a bowl, throw in the little bit of dressing or whatever that's there, mix it up, and I know where my calories are going to be. These prepared meals you can get at the store that have your proteins and things in them. You already have your veggies and stuff. Similar kind of concept. It's like a little salad kit or a meal kit that has your added proteins and things. A lot of times I'll get these that are frozen, so I can just throw one in the microwave and warm it up. But the salad kits are good too. And again, I tend to, if I find one that's got some higher calorie items in it, like in this one, you can see it's got cheese in there. I oftentimes will just toss that out and reduce the calories a bit, so I know that my my macros and fats and things are going to stay where I want them. Biota bars. I make my own bars that are, I call Biota bars, that are high fiber, high protein, plant-based bars that I've really designed specifically to help with me when I have cravings for chocolate or something sweet. So I have bars that I make that are high fiber, high protein, that are loaded with all the things I know that I want to be putting in my body every day to try to reduce inflammation and try to feel full and satisfied. So I love these as snacks. I oftentimes use these as a meal replacement because each bar is a blend of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that are in a good ratio that make essentially a complete meal. It's like mostly whole foods. So when I eat this, I know that I'm having something that's going to be good for me, that's going to fill me up, and it's going to help me not to be eating junk. So like these ones here are white chocolate blueberry. So these got like wild blueberries and whole organic oats and oat bran, and you know, really good quick meal. Whenever I have a Biota bar or any food that's high in fiber, drink lots of water. So ideally, rather than these plastic bottled waters, fill your own water bottle. So every day, you're not only wasting, or you're not wasting plastic and stuff like that, but you are able to just do clean, either spring, filtered, or distilled water at home, rather than the bottled stuff. But hey, it's better to drink a bottle of this than, you know, soda or something like that. Another thing I like to do for my quick on-the-go meals is I like to have, if I ever in a hurry, a meal replacement shake. So for my meal replacement shakes, pretty simple. I have a couple of different ones I like. I like this company, Garden of Life, and their raw meal product, or another company, Plant Fusion. They do another complete meal. And like the Biota bar, it's a complete meal, meaning that it's a blend of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, rather than just it's not protein powder, it's not carbohydrate powder, but it is a blend of assortment of these different macronutrients. So it's like a whole meal. So I can take one of these, load it with vitamins and minerals, and I can just basically throw it in a shaker bottle like this, and I'll throw in some almond milk, and I can just shake that up and have a complete meal that I can just guzzle. But oftentimes when I'm at home, if I have my blender, I'll throw in some frozen cherries, berries, a little banana, some dark greens, and I'll blend it all up in my smoothie or my blender, and then I can throw that in a big shaker bottle, and I can have a really satisfying meal that I can drink either right then or just take it with me and have it a little bit later in the day. Although I'll be honest, I really like drinking those things when they're nice and cold. Let's see, what else do we got here? Hang on, let me look over here. All right. Oh, geez. This one you can't be beat. Is common sense. Is just fresh fruit. I always bring with me. I always have apples, bananas, grapes, nectarines, peaches, pears, whatever fresh fruit that I can find that's, you know, good price, it's on sale, or you know. So for example, when I see the price of cherries go way up, I'll lay off cherries for a little while and wait until the price comes down. Watermelon. What's faster than fresh fruit? And a lot of people are avoiding fruit, and it's crazy because it is like, not only is it super healthy, but it's great for weight loss. It's great for all the things that we're trying really to do when we're trying to promote weight loss. And it's sad to me, I feel, that when people are trying to tell you not to eat fruit, or they're afraid to eat fruit because they think of it, you know, it's got high sugar content, when some of the most effective diets and the most research that's done on fruit shows that you can have large amounts of fruit and have nothing but improved weight loss and improved overall health. So fresh fruit snacks, I love to snack on this stuff all the time as I go throughout the day. Another thing that you might find helpful are like little protein packs like these. Now, again, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than if you go and you get, like, you know, your own, like the canned and stuff like that. But what I like about these things is that they're the peelable, portion-sized protein packs. So you can do like wild salmon or you know, light tuna, and I will oftentimes throw these into one of my salads to amp up the protein a bit. Or I might just make like I'll use like a light dressing or a mustard to whisk in there, oftentimes with some spices or seasonings that I can put like on a wrap or sometimes we'll just eat as is with a little bit of like honey mustard or like a light mayo. I'll use like a product called Vegenaise with the reduced fat version, and I'll put just a little bit of that in with my tuna to make like kind of like a tuna salad. And if you have time to dice up some onion or chives or something like that, you can make like a really yummy protein treat. Raw veggies, another one that people don't tend to really realize is super good for weight loss, is just making sure every day you're consuming at least 1 or 2 of your portions from your vegetables coming from raw veggies. So a lot of times they can just be consumed plain, which is just some baby carrots. But if you make some homemade healthy hummus without all the oil, so use whole, if you're gonna put fat in your hummus, use like whole food forms of fat, like avocado or ground sesame seeds. So using, like, for example, a hummus that has like sesame seed butter in it is gonna be way better than, say, oil, like canola oil, because now you're stripping out the protein and the fiber and everything else, and you're just concentrating the fat. So making either homemade hummus that you can dunk those in, just be careful, you know, hummus can be a little high in calories, so still budget into your total calories. But now you're gonna amp up the protein and fiber content, because beans are like super weight loss food. So you wanna make sure you're adding in beans on a regular basis into your diet. Let's see what else we got here. Got sprouted, I like sprouted seeds, and I don't have any with me right now, but I like to take some of my favorite sprouted seeds. I'll usually get some like roasted soy nuts, so maybe some sprouted sunflower seeds, maybe some dried raisins, and I'll make up like a package of well, some people call it GORP, good old-fashioned raisins and peanuts. I skip the peanuts, and instead I'll use the you know, some roasted soy nuts, or some almonds, raisins, maybe some dried dates, and I'll do a blend of these higher protein, carbohydrate, dried fruits and things. Something that you don't want to go crazy with, because there is, you know, it's gonna be a higher calorie there, but it is a very filling, healthy snack that can oftentimes take the edge off. And you have that along with lots of water, because remember, when you're eating dried fruits, they're really devoid of the water, so you want to drink lots of liquid between bites with those dried things to really fill yourself up. Don't forget the Kool-Aid recipe. This is that healthy hibiscus fruit punch Kool-Aid, low carb. I'll guzzle this stuff down along with some of my dried GORP there, and that makes a great quick snack that I can eat on the go. Another thing I love, especially in the winter, are these little soup cups. I like Dr. McDougall's. They're low fat. I like to go with the bean-based ones because they have a higher fiber, higher protein content. So my favorite is the split pea and the black bean soup. And I'll just add hot water to one of these and whisk it in there. And oftentimes, to make it even more bulky and more dense, I'll add to my soup cup some sweet corn or peas, frozen peas, and I'll add that in to give it a little bit more bulk and density to really fill me up. And these have been lifesaver for me many winters, and sometimes in the summer too, as a quick, convenient, high protein, high fiber food that I can eat on the go. Another one that might surprise you is, because again, people tend to think when they're eating a meal, they think you got to eat like 7 things. You know, you can keep it super simple. Eat one thing. You don't need to have 5 ingredients in a meal. Sometimes, literally, it's just this one thing is my meal, maybe 2 of these. This is a patata. It's a type of sweet potato that's got an orange or reddish peel, but a white flesh. And this thing is super healthy, loaded with prebiotic fiber, super filling and satisfying. Remember, sweet potatoes is one of the main staples in the Okinawan diet, some of the longest lived, healthiest, leanest people on the planet. And sweet potatoes are just super, super delicious. Various sweet potatoes, but what I like about this one is that when I peel it, slice it, and then I'll warm it up in the microwave or oven, and it comes out with a almost like a kind of like a French fry consistency. I might sprinkle a little salt or some seasonings on it, and it is just delicious. Even plain, it's super, super yummy. I've made this in class many times for people here in class, and sometimes I'll have a whole meal of just a patata, and that really, really satisfying. Another thing I like to do for meals on the go is my little Zevia sodas. So if sparkling water, these are stevia sweetened sodas, but sparkling water, while they're gonna cost more, so I try not to do these a lot just because they're very expensive. But what I like about these is every once in a while you have a craving for something sweet, or you're hungry, but you know you really shouldn't be eating because you might have just ate. And so this can just kind of hold you over between meals, and not to mention on a hot summer day and having something like this cold in the fridge, a little bit of that carbonated, you know, is just hits the spot. So I like to get these, different types of Zevia sweetened sodas from time to time, and that oftentimes helps me keep myself from eating between meals. So those are just some of the many things that I might have in my food bag at different times of the year. And by having that thing stocked up, I always have an option. I always have something that I can grab, so I don't have any excuse to have to be, going to eat junk because there's nothing available with me. I take this with me to work. I take it in my, truck or wherever I go. So I almost always have something that I can grab. So let me see if there's anything else here that I haven't quite covered. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fast food options, but let me just check off. We did meal replacement shake. We did our kind of our frozen meals a little bit. Now remember, with the frozen meals, these are meals that we also prepare at home. We have a whole nother video on this. So I make up a lot of my own homemade frozen meals. I have some in the fridge right now, and I can just pop them in the microwave, warm them up, and I have a whole meal that's got all my proteins, carbs, and healthy fats in there that I want. So we talked about the Biota bars, raw veggies, batata, frozen fruit. We didn't touch on frozen fruit. Frozen fruit, another quick, convenient, great thing to add into smoothies. And I also love to put it in I'll make my own oatmeal packets or oat bran packets that have some cinnamon and some protein powder and some ground flax seeds and chia seeds. And I'll bag these things up, and then all I got to do is dump it in the pan with some hot water. And then when I'm done, I like to cool my oatmeal down by adding in like a cup or two of frozen blueberries. So having frozen fruit and frozen veggies is a great way to save money and have some quick meals that can be eaten on the go. I already mentioned having the shaker bottle, protein packs, prepackaged salads. We talked a little bit about meal prep, fresh fruit, Zevia. We talked a little bit about the microwave foods, dried foods, Gorp. I think the only thing we have left are our fast food options and our fiber protein drink. So fast food options are literally when you go out and about, have a fast food option or two that you can grab at almost any fast food place. And if you don't eat out at fast food ever, well then hey, great, that's good on you. But I'll honestly once in a while go to a fast food place. So if I go to Tim Hortons, I might grab some spinach egg white bites, or I'll ask for a big cup of oatmeal with berries. I might get an iced coffee without all the sugar in it. I'll ask for maybe oat milk or almond milk or soy milk, something like that. And these are oftentimes great substitutions when I go there. If I go to let's say Subway, if I want to keep it lower carb and get more veggies, I'll ask for an egg white flat with a ton of veggies. So I'll say banana peppers, green peppers, spinach, maybe put a little barbecue sauce on top or something like that. But I'll just pile the veggies on top of that and have a high protein, high veggie omelet. Or I might ask them to do a chopped salad. So I have them throw in the proteins, maybe some guacamole if they're not charging me like $10 for a serving. And as many veggies as I can get in there, cucumbers, banana peppers, pickles, and I'll make myself a big filling, make my mouth water just talking about this, make a big filling salad, high protein meal there. If you go to a place like, let's say Burger King or McDonald's, there's a lot of times options that you can get there that are, salads with a grilled chicken, or you can get if you do dairy, you could do like a yogurt with some fresh fruit. I personally don't do much dairy because it bothers me too much, but you might have yogurt as an option. Sometimes you order just the lean sandwich and you toss off some of the stuff that's the higher calorie stuff. So you're gonna say no mayo. I don't want maybe even take off half the bun or no bun at all, and try to get veggies. Remember, you're looking for lean protein and veggies at these meals. And if you're doing plant-based or a vegan diet, then you want to go for those plant-based options. Just be careful, because a lot of times I meet people who are doing plant-based or vegan and they still can't lose any weight. And part of the problem is they think because they're eating plant-based that just guarantees weight loss, that guarantees health. The problem is that many plant-based foods are actually worse than the animal-based foods. You eat like a plant-based protein bar and you find out that the calorie density, the number of calories per gram, is significantly higher than, say, like a piece of chicken. So at the end of the day, someone might say, wow, but yeah, but that chicken, I don't think it's very healthy for you. I should be eating plant-based. It's like, yeah, but you eat that chocolate plant-based bar that's loaded with calories, and it promotes weight gain. Weight gain causes inflammation. Inflammation causes disease. So you're back to the same problem where, you might as well have just eaten the chicken and had maybe less calories, feeling more full than, say, eating a processed plant food. That's not to say there aren't plenty of whole plant foods that are great and convenient that you can eat. I'm not trying to say you have to eat the chicken either. So just be careful when you go to these fast food places. Oftentimes you'll find like the veggie option has more calories, more saturated fat, more sugar than the animal option. So just be watching out for that. Any fast food place you go, really, look through the menu. You can look most of these things up online. A lot of them now are having them right at the order window. And again, think fiber, protein, low fat options. And this is, again, only as a last resort if you don't have your food bag with you. All right, so I think, last one, fiber protein drink. Fiber protein drink. This is one where you notice that, well, anybody that knows me, again, knows I almost always have a jug of some type of soluble fiber like psyllium. This is a sugar-free stevia Metamucil. I'll have a shaker bottle with me at almost at all times, some water, and oftentimes protein. And so what I'll do is when I go, especially if I go to a fast food place or I go someplace where I know the meal might be processed, or maybe I'm headed to a picnic or an event and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get there and they're gonna have all sorts of tempting stuff and I don't want to overeat. So one of the first things I'll do is I'll get out my shaker bottle, I'll fill the thing up with water, I'll put 1 or 2 teaspoons of soluble fiber in there, and I'll put like 1 to 2 scoops of my protein in there. And I'll shake that all up real good, and then I just like guzzle that down. And what I'm trying to do essentially is to fill the stomach with volume and protein to trigger satiety and fullness prior to the main meal. And what this is going to do is help me to consume fewer calories when I arrive at this, special event. Not to mention it's going to have a bunch of other benefits that we're going to talk about in a whole nother video when we look at some of the top fat loss supplements and how they work specifically. So anyways, that's it for this presentation today. Hope you guys found that helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.